Believe, and you're here in the office of the Always Believe House. Oh, yesterday we graphed exponential functions, and it was pretty simple. Remember, we made t-charts from -2 to +2, and it had exponential growth or exponential decay. We identified the asymptote. The domain and range were always all real numbers, and the asymptote was always the x-axis, okay? So today we're going to go from the graph to the t-chart to the equation, okay? So let's get started going. And a magical whiteboard appears and you are seeing the worksheet you're going to do today. Remember, let's write at the top of the page, y equals ab to the x. The a is the y-intercept and the b is the common product, okay? And if the b is between 0 and 1, it has decay. If the b is more than 1, it has growth, okay? Be pretty fun when we start doing word problems with this at the end of the week, okay? Okay, so if you read the instructions, sorry about that, we're going to generate a t-chart from -2 to 2 and go from the t-chart to the equation. So this will be pretty simple stuff. Also at the top of these, some of these are kind of hard. Write down omit 2, any 2. So if you can't get the t-chart on some of these, because they'll be fractional, you can omit that one, okay? I'm going to do we're going to do 1, 2, and 3, and you're going to see that number 3 would probably be one that you omitted, okay? On your STAR test, it won't be like fractional like this. It'll be pretty simple that you do. Okay, so let's make a t-chart. So x and y, and we're always going to go from -2 to +2. Okay, and then I'm just going to find the dots in here. Now that I can kind of zoom in, which is kind of unfair. So this dot is right here, and then at 1 at 6, then it goes to here. This is a fraction, and this is a fraction in it. So I have 2 fractions here, but I got 3 ordered pairs. So my -2 is 12, my -1 is +6, and my 0 is 3 in it. Now then, do you see the pattern going down? We're dividing by 2 or we're multiplying by 1/2, aren't we? So keep multiplying by 1/2 and use decimals on this. So 1/2 of 3 is 1.5 and 1/2 of 1.5 is 0.75. So this is my t-chart in it. Notice this has decay, doesn't it? Okay. Now then, what does the directions want? Okay, so write down y equals ab to the x. And then y equals, my a is 3, and my common product is 1/2 to the x in it. Okay? Use the t-chart to find the y values, the y-intercept, the common product, and then write the exponential equation, write out the domain and range, and then the asymptote. So put capital B for domain, put all real numbers, put R for range, and then the range is going to be y greater than 0, and then your asymptote, write this down every time, is going to be y equals 0 or the x-axis, right? So we're going to make that on every single problem, okay? And I'm not going to have you just use the a and the b as the y-intercept and the common product. Let's go to number 2. Okay, remember, some of these will be fractional, so you can't write them down until you make the t-chart and you see the pattern, okay? So this one right here, make our t-chart, x, y, and we're going to go from -2 to +2. Okay, and right here I know my 0 is 4, and then I'm going to go up. This is pretty easy, 8 and then 16. And then if I go down, I got 2 and 1. So these are all whole numbers, aren't they? Okay, so right here I'm going to write down y equals ab to the x. This is my a. Y equals 2 times, and my common product, if I go down, I'm multiplying by 2 in it. 2 to the x, capital D for domain, all real numbers, capital R for range, y is greater than or equal to, or greater than 0, it will never equal 0, and the asymptote is going to be y equals 0. The graph will never ever get to 0, will it? Okay, piece of cake. Now then, number 3, this would be a good example of one you may want to omit, okay? So we're going to make a t-chart, x and y, but you're not going to have to omit it because I'm going to do it for you. -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. The 0, I don't know, and neither do I know the negatives. This is going to be tough. The 1 is a fraction, but the 2 is going to be 9. Okay, now then if I look right here, I'm going to say that this is going to be 1.5. And this makes sense because to go from here to here, I would multiply by 6, which will be my b, won't it? Now then to go backwards and to go up, I'm going to keep dividing by 6. So if you take 1.5 and divide it by 6, you get 0.25. And then this is going to be real tricky here. I'm just going to use the calculator. Let me get my calculator up here. 0.25 divided by x, divided by 6 I should say, is 0.042. So 0.042. And then divide that by 6 again. And this gets really tricky because 0.007. 0.007. Notice these are getting real small and you're going to have to round them because the fractions are so big here, okay? You can also make these fractions. So if I made them fractions, which might be on the t-chart, it'd be 3 over 2, and then 3 over 18 would be, or if you divide by 6 again, multiply by 6, you would get 1/4, and then 1 over 24, and then 1 over 144. Those would be the fractions. You would just multiply by 1/6 going up, okay? Those would be the fractions, which would be equivalent to the decimals, okay? Now then our domain is going to be all real numbers. The range is going to be y greater than 0. And then the asymptote, is that right? Is that right? Yeah, the asymptote is going to be y equals 0, okay? Remember, you can omit 2 of these, okay? If you get big decimals in there, you can round them like to the hundreds or thousands. If you make them fractions, it'll work out, okay? Just got to get your common product, okay? Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Remember, you can omit 2. You are amazing. You are created to do wonderful things, and you are awesome.